The idea that a Lincoln cent can be worth more than $1 million is fantastical, but in today's market it is very much a reality. So let's take a look at the top 10 most expensive Lincoln pennies ever sold. We'll start off with a very unusual and interesting coin. A 1974 S Lincoln Memorial Cent struck not in the usual copper, but instead with aluminum. Now, in 1974, the price of copper was rising precipitously, and the mint started exploring alternative metals that would be more affordable, and they settled on an aluminium penny as the solution to their problem. Now, those plans were eventually scrapped, and no circulating coins were ever officially released. This coin, however, is one of only two 1974 aluminium cents that are legal to own, as this is technically an error coin overstruck at the San Francisco Mint on an existing aluminium 2 paisa coin from Nepal. It was graded by PCGS as Proof 68 Cameo and was sold at auction in 2023 by Great Collections for $199,687.50. A perennial favorite in the early Lincoln cent series is the enigmatic 1922 No D penny, as the Denver Mint was the only working mint striking pennies in 1922. All 1922 pennies should have the D mint mark, but through a series of unfortunate events, a pair of clash dies, and possibly even a broken reverse die, the Obverse die that these coins were struck from had to be polished to remove clash marks. But in the process, the D mint mark was also removed completely, creating these No D strong reverse, as the reverse die had to be replaced completely. 1922 coins that weren't intended to exist. In 2023, a PCGS graded MS64 red example was sold at auction for $253,125. In the number 8 position is easily one of the most famous coins on this list, and definitely one of the most sought after by collectors of all descriptions. This is the 1955 double-die Obverse wheat cent. The doubling on this coin is simply astounding to behold, and it's easy to understand why it's such a popular coin. Every single aspect of the Obverse design is dramatically affected by the classic Class 1 hub doubling, but the date is without a doubt the coin's signature aspect. In early 2023, Stuart Blaze Red Copper Collection was sold, including this PCGS MS65 Plus red example of this variety that managed to achieve a closing price at auction of $287,156.25. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate what would have been Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the first circulating coin to feature a former president. The coin was designed by sculptor Victor D. Brenner. His initials of VDB appeared on the reverse of the coin, just in between the two wheat stalks at the bottom, a standard practice that dates back to ancient Greece, when engravers like Kimen and Ivanitos started signing their decadrachm dies. But this made some people very unhappy, and the mint was forced to remove the VDB initials from the design mere weeks into production, unintentionally creating a circulating rarity in the process. The San Francisco Mint was the hardest hit by this move, as only 484,000 1909 S VDB coins were struck before the order came down to stop production. In 2023, one of these rare pieces was sold at auction in an old-school green PCGS holder with a grade of MS67 red for $345,375. The Philadelphia Mint, meanwhile, fared a little better, having struck 27,995,000 coins with the VDB initials before production was halted. The matte-proof coin for that year was also affected by the switchover, and although 1,194 before coins were struck with the VDB in place, it is estimated that fewer than half of that number actually managed to leave the mint. And in 2022, a PCGS graded MS67 plus red example was sold at auction for $365,625. The 1943 steel cent is well known amongst collectors as a single-year type coin, when the US Mint made the wheat cent not from its traditional 95% copper planchet, but from a zinc-coated steel blank instead. What fewer collectors might know is that in 1944, a few of these leftover steel planchets were accidentally struck as well, when the penny was meant to again be struck from copper, making this a very valuable wrong planchet era coin. Coins like this are known for all three working mints for that year, San Francisco, Philadelphia, as well as Denver. But it was in 2021 when this coin, a 1944 S steel cent graded by PCGS as MS66, was sold at auction by Heritage for $408,000. The next coin is not an issue that you will traditionally think of when considering rare or tremendously valuable pennies. The 1919 wheat cent actually has the highest mintage for that era, at almost 390 million coins. But this coin is expensive because it is a conditional rarity. It is not only the highest graded 1919 Lincoln cent, but actually, at least as far as we're aware, the only wheat penny to get a grade of MS69 red from PCGS in the entire series. In 2023, it was sold at auction by Great Collections for $421,875. Okay, so for this entry, I'm going to bend the rules just a little bit by combining two coins into a single slot. Again, you see, in 1943, the world was in flames. Simply put, the Second World War was at its most devastating, and the US government needed every bit of scrap copper it could lay its mitts on to make shell casings, munitions, and other desperately needed items. So, the US Mint started making pennies from zinc-coated steel instead, to save on copper. That's why we have the 1943 steel pennies today. But a few of the older copper planchets were still accidentally minted along with the new steel ones, creating this rare wrong planchet error. Less than 3 dozen, maybe about 30 or so coins are known to exist between the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints today, differentiated by the S mint mark or no mint mark just below the date. Of these, the Philadelphia mint example is the most plentiful, with about 2 dozen or so coins known. In 2021, an example graded by PCGS as MS62 brown was sold at auction for $372,000, while a year before, in 2020, a San Francisco mint example, or the 1943 S bronze penny, of which only 6 coins can be positively identified, was sold at auction for $504,000, graded as PCGS MS63 brown. And then we have what I would say is probably the second most famous Lincoln penny variety coin. This is the indomitable 1969 S double-die Obverse penny. With the kind of doubling you can see with the naked eye, it has broad appeal to variety collectors, Lincoln penny series collectors, and just anyone interested in cool coins, really. The strong rotated hub doubling can be spotted easily on the date, as well as the letters of Liberty and In God We Trust. There's even a bit of interesting history and scandal surrounding this coin, where the Secret Service confiscated and melted down a number of genuine coins, claiming they were forgeries when they clearly and definitely were not. But that's a story for a different day. In 2023, the finest known example of this coin, graded by PCGS as MS66 red, was sold at auction by Great Collections for $601,875. The first runner-up coin is the last 1943 penny to have been mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet. This is the 1943 D copper cent. While a handful of coins like this are known for both the San Francisco and Philadelphia mint, as we just talked about a little earlier, this is the only coin like this known to exist from the Denver Mint with the D mint mark. The only one. It is absolutely unique. So, as you can imagine, it is rather expensive. Back in 2010, when this exact same coin was sold via private treaty for an almost unimaginable $1.7 million, with most of that money going to charity as a part of that very unique deal. But in 2021, it was sold by Heritage Auctions as a part of the Bob Simpson collection, now graded by PCGS as MS64 Brown, where it sold publicly for the first time since 2003 for $840,000. But without any doubt, however, the undisputed king of the Lincoln cents and the most expensive modern penny ever sold at public auction is the 1958 double-die Obverse wheat cent variety. To say that this coin is rare is a drastic understatement. To date, only 3 of these varieties are known to exist. The doubling is tremendously bold, almost rivaling the significantly more famous 1955 or 1969 S coins from a similar description, mostly seen in the letters of Liberty and In God We Trust. Of the 3 known examples, 2 are graded as MS65 red. One of those coins was sold by Stax Bowers in 2018 from the ESM collection, where it achieved the final price at auction of $336,000. The third and final coin, however, is the hero of this story. Graded as MS65 red by PCGS, it was sold at auction in 2023 by Great Collections for the astounding, record-breaking price of $1,136,250, officially making it the world's most expensive Lincoln cent. Subscribe to WNN, and if you like this, then maybe you'll enjoy watching a video about the top 10 modern US coins next. For the World Numismatic News, I'm Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.